friends. Welcome to another episode of the 10 Laws Podcast with East Forest. I am that East person that I get called at time to times. I'm frankly used to it at this point. You know, just East. Anywho, I got to talk with Shane Mauss. He was passing through town and doing a comedy gig. He's on tour. You should go check him out. He's working on getting his special out. It's going to be very exciting. I've seen it. It's awesome. But I love talking to Shane because it's fun, it's funny, it's inquisitive, and it can be challenging at times to have different viewpoints, but for the most part, it's just a good hang. He came to town and stayed here at the house, and we went out and played some pickleball, which I thought was amazing. It was my fourth game. I thought I still held my own. Here's some proof. What? You said the game about pickleball?
Just you were playing fucking really good. If that's just your fifth time.
Fifth time, maybe fourth.
Playing. I mean, you were returning shots that I did not think you were going to be able to handle. I mean, I've been playing for years, so.
Well, I didn't win, but
impressed.
I thought I held my own. So there you go. I held my own. No, it was super fun. Actually, he inspired me to find games or do something like that in the winter because, you know, that's pretty important. I just want to remind you, I'm heading out on the road right now for like a month. I'm going to be out. I'm going to be at Spirit Rock, or I guess when this comes out, I was just at Spirit Rock. But I'm going to release, hopefully, some recordings from some of these travels, trips, and tours over on my Patreon. And that's where I get to do things like that and demos, and we do our monthly council. So that's at patreon.com/eastforest. But beyond Spirit Rock, when you hear this, God willing, I'm in the air to Australia. I'm in that zone where you leave one day and you get there 2 days later. So I don't know what that means. It's sort of like being beamed, but it's incredibly slow. October 25th, Gold Coast with Wanderlust. The 30th of October, Melbourne, and the 2nd of November in Sydney. And what's totally nuts is we flip around. We have 1 day off here to like do some laundry and reorient and pretend we're on not the opposite time zone. And then we fly out to do the U.S. tour in the Northeast and the Midwest. That's going to be Kingston, New York, Washington, D.C., Springfield, Brooklyn, Boston, Columbus, Minneapolis, Madison, Milwaukee, and Chicago is where we end on November 17th. So that's November 6th through the 17th. Get a ticket now, eastforest.org. Gather the friends, gather the tribe. I'm looking forward to that. We are going to be hopefully announcing the West Coast stuff here super soon in the United States, so stay tuned. And of course, Europe is in this winter from late January into early February. Yeah, it's a crazy, crazy time right now, but I'm grateful. And more than anything, I'm doing all this work because I love to come out there and connect together in the real world and make something magic in a room as human beings together. Go figure. What a crazy idea. That's actually more and more of a radical thing and radical energy that it's creating and putting out there in the world. We need this. It's a vitamin. We need to come together. And music, beyond it being fun and cool and inspiring, I hope, it's something alchemical. I really believe it's working in our bones, in our blood, our DNA, in a way that's beyond just our mind. I mean, we've been doing this in various forms, sitting around the fire together since the Stone Age, making sounds and songs, probably before that. You know, I don't know. But definitely for a very, very, very long time. And that in itself is a kind of evidence of the value and importance. And here we are in the modern era, and one of the good things is we get to then use all these cool techniques and tools, amplified sound and so forth, to like feel the bass in our chest. But beyond that, we got to do it. You know, if you're not sitting around a fire singing songs, which I hope you are, please come and join us at any one of these events, and I'll see you out there on the road. But for now, oh, one more thing. Shane left his shoes at our house, and so I put them on Facebook Marketplace. He said I could sell them or throw them out, but instead I thought, are you kidding me? These are the shoes, the used, experienced shoes of Shane Mauss. That's Pepper in the background stepping on a tambourine. Pepper, chill. All right. His shoes are on Facebook. I don't know if they've sold yet. They're going to be moving quick, so you might want to look at that. He also left a pair of shorts, so it's possible those are going to be up there soon, too. If you got them both, you'd be frankly unstoppable. Mr. Shane Mauss.
Hello, my friend.
This is a weird angle. I'm looking at you.
I know. I was hoping that you were. I was
Do this
hoping
the
I
whole
was.
time?
Yeah.
Give you the side
I was
eye?
just going to. Yeah, I didn't know you were going to turn around at all. I thought maybe I was just going to be talking to the back of your head the entire time, which would have been a first.
Just bald spot.
And we're no video here too, so people can't even appreciate.
So we're in the studio in Boise, and you're cruising through because you're on your tour. And you're doing a show in Boise, but by the time people hear this, that will have passed. But you have many more.
Yeah.
Many more shows.
All sorts. Shane Mauss, MAUSS.com.
Yeah, you might as well get it out of the way, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not doing video because I'm an audio guy, and I really think this, that when you can just listen to something and you use your imagination, be it an audiobook or a podcast, I actually think it's better.
Cameras make me nervous, actually.
Well, that too.
It's just generally, I'm more nervous when I'm on camera. I'm more in my head when I'm on camera. I have a hard time doing like selfie things. I don't. Maybe it would be a weird thing to go to therapy to be like, I want to be on social media more.
I want to be better at it.
Yeah, I want to be better at social media.
But what's cool, though, I could, in theory, turn my back to you and just listen to you and have my own imagination of what's behind this felty voice.
Yeah. Me too. I mean, we can just close our eyes and do the entire...
That's true. We could. So you've been living in a van.
Yeah, van life.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a hair misleading because I'm not sure that I've ever spent more than 7 days straight in it, I think is like the record.
I think you're splitting hairs.
Yeah,
because you don't have a residence, so you definitely are doing the van life.
I'm definitely doing the
van
life.
Van life just includes
crashing with
various
friends
places.
And family and stuff like that. I happen... So far, since I've been doing it like more full time this year, I've just had like tons of friends that have vacant extra houses and stuff. I don't anticipate that lasting. But so far, so good. I just had someone reach out to me recently and was like, hey, I'm with Decrim Nature in Arkansas or whatever.
There's a Decrim Arkansas?
Yeah, I mean that's where they need this stuff the most.
True.
And so they were like, I have my wife and I have a couple extra bedrooms and stuff if you want to crash for a week. And I'm like, I don't know you, and probably yes.
So you're still a yes on those. I get a little nervous because it truly is an X factor. You really are rolling the dice.
I did it once with like my brother was with me. And I was like, yeah, I'll take up this fan on free accommodations. And because we were like sharing hotel rooms and Airbnbs and stuff, I was like, yeah, that'd be nice to save some money for a couple nights. And then it was like air mattresses. And I was like, sorry about that. But yeah, I was just, and then I had my VJ just, I'm not doing visuals at all of the shows, but I just flew him for, I'm doing a new show, Stand Up Science, in some select markets. And I flew him to Seattle for, so then I had to get an Airbnb. So,
well, it's been a long time since I used to crash wherever. And I think the last time something that kind of changed my mind on that, I remember there was a gig, of course it was in California. It was at sort of a hippie house. And they said, we're going to put you up. And I was like, okay. It's one of these big communal things in the Bay. And I remember walking in. I literally walked in with my first piece of gear. And they're like, this is where you're going to perform. They point to the living room. And I said, okay, where can I put my stuff? Or like, where's the room? And they pointed to the kitchen. And they put an air mattress in the kitchen. And I felt bad. I said, "Okay." I didn't even know what to say, so I turned around with my stuff. I said, I have to do something, and I left. And I went down. First thing I did was get a place to stay.
Yeah.
As I went to the nearest Marriott or something.
Yeah.
And then I didn't do the gig.
Oh, wow.
I was just like, I was so flummoxed.
Yeah.
And they thought, and I told them kind of like, I just don't know if I can do this and yada, yada. Oh, I remember. I had halfway unloaded, so my stuff was there. It was bad. I had to go back in the morning.
Okay.
And do the whole walk of shame. Like, hey.
Yeah,
they kind of weirdly understood.
Yeah.
But
I once invited, I did my stand-up science show in 2019. I did like 100 different cities. And one of them happened to be in like a house party. And then I didn't like totally realize what the situation was, I guess. Mm-hmm. And so I invited like scientist guests on to be on the show. And then I was just like, oh, so this is what I do.
They're probably cool with that.
Yeah, they were cool, actually.
It's fun thinking about like really old things you did. You're making me think of a time I played. This is way back, 15 plus years ago, house party in like Albuquerque. And I remember us setting up in the living room, and I had one of those power strips where I had like taped all of my wall warts. Everything was like ready to go. You just take which is pretty ghetto looking. It's like a power strip with everything duct taped on it.
Yeah,
and you just plug that in. I remember I pulled that out and I was getting set up, and one of the guys was in the living room said, "Hey, look at that. This guy's a pro." And I was like, "Yeah, I'm a pro." Like,
yeah.
Got the
That's
duct
a heck
tape.
of a compliment. How much setup is there on your shows? Because my last tour was the first time that I had to like set up. You saw with the visuals and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I didn't realize like bands got to show up like way early and do sound checks.
Well, what's worse than that is actually the getting the stuff around.
Yeah.
Like what you're looking at in the studio, the reason it's a mess is because all of this is like Australia and all of this is for the November tour. There's one day in between and there's all sorts of crazy weight limits and restrictions on luggage that are unique to the flights in Australia.
Yeah.
And so everything has to be weighed out to the pound or to the point pound.
Yeah.
Because some of that stuff is the stuff I don't check because it's fragile. So it would have to have its own flight case, but I don't have one because I'm taking it on. So the plane's like, yeah, you can't bring that on. I'd be like, then I can't fly.
And this is why I do the van life. I got so sick of because I started like lugging projectors around and stuff like
that's
that,
a big deal. That's a big deal.
And I was like, yeah, I already hated flying, and now I've just made it worse on myself.
Max Cooper does that. He's a musician. He'll bring scrims and projectors sometimes.
Wow.
He's way committed. It's impressive.
That is very impressive. That's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work, yeah.
Airports and everything else. It's such a pain. That's what I love about. So now I book shows that are around like 3 hours apart. They're a little longer in this little stretch. But yeah, so I do. And I like a 3-hour drive is perfect.
I feel you.
And flying is a nightmare.
Nothing's worse than having to drive after the show.
Drive after the show?
Sometimes with routing, it's like there's not enough time in the next day to do the whole drive. So we have to complete several hours after the show.
Yeah.
It's brutal.
I don't, but then again, van life helps me out there because then I can literally just drive until I'm like, I'm tired now. And then I can find somewhere to sleep.
Yeah. Well, so what are the cons?
Just that you live in a van.
The ladies aren't as hot to come back to the van.
Yeah, you can only fit like 3 or 4 of them in that little bed. Or the
class of lady.
Yeah. And so, I mean, I had my now ex with me for like a year of the tour for the van, but I didn't call that van life because I was getting Airbnbs and stuff every night. I was just like, it's so nice having so much stuff with me. It's so nice not being like, oh, I forgot socks for some reason, or whatever, like just that kind of stuff, and like shedding stuff in hotel rooms constantly. That's so nice.
And you're not unpacking and packing the whole thing you do when you go to hotels and so forth. It's just always the same stuff.
Yeah. I'm learning to clean more, and I'm still not good at it. The biggest con is a van gets so messy so fast. Like I will completely, I will have it so nice, like perfect. I will spend like hours cleaning it, rearranging things, packing things away precisely. And then the next show happens, and then there's like a different cord or something that I need for it. I got to pull everything out, and then I have like suits that I'm throwing on the bed and stuff. And then I'm tired at the end of the show, and then the next day I don't deal with it, and like in 2 days,
a
2
minutes
can be like a nightmare situation.
Small spaces, tiny houses. I have my container home thing. Yeah, that's a tiny house. It's the same. If you don't keep it immaculate as far as like clutter.
Yeah.
It's instant. It's amazing. Some people have a theory that any horizontal surface in any home will always have stuff just put on it.
I do that with my bed and stuff too. And so then then I'm tired and there's a bunch of stuff stacked on my bed. So then I just like move it.
You do the
to one
thing
of the
where like you're
seats
sleeping
slide
with
it
stuff.
Over. I do that too.
Cuddle up with it.
That always makes me feel like a junkie or something like that. You know, even if I'm not on drugs, it feels like a drug-like situation.
It's a drug
if you're
den.
like sleeping with like in your own clothes, you know, like amongst them. Planet Fitness, like the shower situation is the worst. Planet Fitness, they like, you know, I guess to have cheap prices, they don't splurge on like hot water heaters and stuff, and so like all the things to skimp out on, that's the thing that they reliably skimp out on in like every single Planet Fitness. It's the only time I pray, actually, is when I get in the shower in Planet Fitness. Like,
maybe they're trying to get you not to do the thing, because that's a thing, right? Is like gym memberships in van life.
Yeah,
and maybe
there's always vans and campers outside of every Planet Fitness everywhere you go. Yeah, it could be like they put the speakers under bridges and stuff.
That's what I'm saying. They're like, let's slow this down a bit and make it a little less plush.
You still have people that are, I don't know. Here's the thing that I did. So there's like changing rooms, like in stalls across from the showers, and I was like, why are there these stalls with like no toilets? Like something didn't connect in my mind. I didn't understand why those were there. And then I don't know what the hell I thought, but I kept on like getting naked and then
not
showering.
In the stall?
Like
not
in the stall, like in the locker room. And I was like, well, it's a locker room, so you get naked and then you shower.
It's a new era.
And then I was like, over time, I was like, I wonder why I never see anyone else naked ever in a Planet Fitness locker room. That's so weird. And then one day I was like, oh, those are changing rooms that you use. Like, I don't know why I didn't piece it together.
Well, yeah.
It's funny the number of, because I'm not fond of getting naked in a locker room. Like, I'll do it because I'm an adult, but it's funny the number of mental barriers that I've had to overcome in my life.
You got to think it
just
through.
To get inappropriately naked in front of
or appropriately naked, I should say. But I've spent so much time at a variety of West Coast style clothing optional or Esalen that every time I'm in a situation where I am taking my clothes off at even if it's Esalen or wherever, I always stop and be like, wait. Is this that place or not?
Yeah.
Because I've had this dream many times, right? Where I don't have pants and I had pants and the whole dream is wearing my pants, but everyone's kind of cool with it, but I know they're not.
Yeah.
And I'm just doing the whole thing like, God, I wish I had pants right now.
Yeah, that's quite the dream to have. It's so funny how ubiquitous that is. There's one of my favorite places is this Wee Spa in LA, and they have dry spas where it's co-ed and you like wear like a uniform kind of that
That's
they
like
give
the
you.
Korean spas.
It's a Korean
Is it
spa.
Korean?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
a
okay,
Korean
yeah,
spa, and
yeah.
it has like yoga mats and stuff on the floor that you can take naps
Yep,
on and
yep.
relax and all
It's like
that.
Spa
And
Castle in
it's-
Queens. You ever heard of that one?
No.
It's like that,
Okay.
but one of the biggest buildings you've ever seen in your life.
Oh wow.
5 stories and 16 computerized saunas and the
Oh,
the
I gotta do
uniforms.
that.
Oh, it's epic. You get a ticket and there's a shuttle in New York. They drive you out to
There's
the one
a
in Queens.
shuttle?
Yeah, and you go for like the whole day. And the first floor is men and women separated, and you can do all this stuff, right? They have all the traditional, like, just scrub your brush your teeth as hard as you can, and then get in a sauna. It's just clean yourself, naked, and steam rooms and saunas. And then you put on the little uniform, the blue shorts and the blue shirt for the boys, and the girls have their little kind of pinky maroon shorts.
Yeah.
And you go upstairs, and then you're in this vast atrium where they have all these crazy saunas, like the salt sauna and the jade sauna and the amethyst sauna.
Yeah, this is my jam.
And the red light therapy and the nap things you're talking about.
Yeah.
And you keep going up. Of course, there's food, but they have pools. And then there's like all these swimming pools. And
is it 24/7?
I don't remember. It's called Spa Castle.
Okay, I'm gonna check it out because Wee Spa is 24/7. I've considered writing them to be like, can I live here for a month for a project?
A project? Like an art project?
Like write a book, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Just like spend a month at Wee Spa and write a book
You
about
film it, yeah.
Well, what gave me the idea was because the wet spa is you have to be naked, and then and it's just like an odd mix of people because it's also like a bargain and a half, and like there's a lot of people just instead of getting a hotel, they'll just go to the Wee Spa for like $35
6-hour nap.
or whatever, you know, for the day. It's just like this incredible deal. And there's a restaurant and stuff 24/7, and so they have like the sitting shower things and stuff, and they once I was in the hot tub and there was this guy, younger Asian guy. The Asians are definitely like way more used to this culture than I am. You can tell they're like
this is their culture.
They're just like so much more relaxed. And I'm trying to take notes, but there's this guy that was like, so there's these sitting showers, and there's like, I don't know, like 10 of them on each side or something like that, and he's the only one in there, and there's like a back corner, and it has like a mirror and stuff like that and drains and everything, but he's sitting right like the closest to so he's on display, and he's just shaving his balls for the longest amount of time.
Well, this is
like
this is a
20
thing.
minutes.
It's a thing where some people go there to cruise, and that's a thing.
To cruise?
Yeah. He
How
might
would
have
you
been.
do
That might be like a shining bright light when you're shaving your balls too.
Maybe I don't.
It's in-person grinder, perhaps.
Perhaps I had a gay assistant for a while, and he like always talked to me like I just had no clue how any like gay stuff worked at all. Like just so
the etiquette.
Like I was looking for. He would look up like spas or fitness things or whatever for me, and I was like, "Oh, I really like this Wee Spa in LA." He's like, "Well, there's this one like spa in LA. Don't go to that one. That is a very gay spa. It's just like guys jerking off everywhere and everything."
Like the David Barton's in Chelsea. My buddy lives near there, and he's it's the Equinox or whatever. It's it's known.
He was like, you wouldn't necessarily know from the, or maybe I said it like, I was like, oh, thanks for the heads up. Sometimes I can be like a little aloof when it comes to that stuff. Yeah. What I meant was like looking at the website, I might not actively suss out if it's like a gay spa or whatever. And he was like, "Oh, you would know. And I'm like, "Oh no, I would know if I walk in." There's just like 50 guys.
That's when you would know.
Jerking.
That's when you know.
I wouldn't be like, "Well, when in Rome."
I don't think you'd sit down and be like, "Well, maybe it's something else."
This is just how it
maybe
works here.
there's something else going on.
But this is like, I don't know. This guy was like going hair by hair in the Wii Spa thing.
Now the image is, it's just.
I know it's a lot, but Wii Spa seems like a weird place to pick up place. Well, maybe, I don't know.
I don't know, man.
But I was like, this is incredible here. Just the amount of weird things happening and that you see. I was just like, I could write a book just staying in here for a month. How many guys just publicly shave their butt? That is not the like. Say I were like. It's not the hottest thing in the world. It's not like he was aroused or anything. He was just very like.
There is, like I said, the brushing the teeth really vigorously. There is a thing going on down there about cleanliness.
Yeah,
and that's kind of the point. And it's like vigorous, like scrubbing your feet like crazy.
Yeah,
and so perhaps that was it was genuine.
Yeah, I think so.
It's like in his world that was. About
very normal. It seems like a long
very
time.
Normal for him, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Well, every country has their thing. Like the Germans, they have some incredible baths that are completely co-ed, family friendly, and they're very insistent that you do not wear any clothing. And I'm cool with that. In Iceland, it's the opposite. This is not Germany, and and they're like, you must scrub behind your knees before you get in the public
behind your
pool.
knees.
They have a picture. With the circles, many of the circles are obvious, armpits and so forth, and then behind the knees, and they told me you do not forget to wash behind your knees.
I thought you were going to say they had pictures of like dirty back knee.
No, not like internet photos.
This is what
if you
we're
were to
trying
Google
to avoid.
search right now, back of knee
dirt.
Photos, I mean, God help you.
Dirty.
God help you. I've never.
I'm not going to search that.
Don't do it.
So the bathing thing is a little trickier with van life. The pooping thing can be a little trickier with van life. None of it's a barrier for me. There's days where it's annoying, but a lot of times it's like I also don't mind. Just I don't feel like I like sweat a lot, and then I also don't mind like bathing in a lake or a river.
Are you not exerting a lot? Or?
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's that. But even like after pickleball or whatever, I feel like I just don't like stink that
so
much.
We played some pickleball today.
Yeah. You were I've played with a lot of new people, and this happens sometimes, so you're not the first, but you're one of like a select few people where it's like you've only played 5 times, I say that because you would take to it really like you would get really good really fast. You'd be able to like play like regular pickleball with regular players in like a month.
Well, you were the first person. Oh, it's true. That was probably my 4th game, and you were the first person I played with that actually played.
Yeah,
like it was challenging. Before I were just volleying.
Yeah.
And I didn't know, well, what is this like if someone's hitting hard and fast?
Yeah.
I don't know. But when you got here, one of the first things you asked is, I don't know if it was like, do you have pickleball or do you want to play pickleball?
I think I asked you if you play.
It's a priority for you.
You definitely have pickleball. Yeah.
You're serious.
Well, I have, when exercise has gone well for me, it's generally because I'm in one place for longer than usual.
Absolutely. It's hard when you're on the road.
It's so hard on the road. Yeah. And so I just like, I was kind of a little bit lazy this year, having fallen out of things. Like I quit drinking like, I don't know, 14, 15 months, a year ago in August. And then, but I haven't really kind of got my game up in terms of like taking care of myself. It's fine, but it's not where it needs to be. I'm 45, and it's just like some hikes and some paddleboarding here and there, like maybe once a week or something like that. And then I just got back into pickleball again this summer when I was visiting Wisconsin. And I picked it up again fast, and then I was like, okay, starting this tour, I have to make a commitment that every week I'm gonna play pickleball at least once. I'm going to do rock climbing gym at least once.
It was a good workout.
Was a very good. Well, it's abnormal to play one-on-one pickleball, so that's a particular big workout.
I don't like the name, and I love pickles.
Yeah, they really screwed up with the name.
It just sounds silly.
It sounds stupid. Yeah, I think it was they had the people that thought of it had a dog named Pickles.
That's so much worse to learn. Because I thought the ball, you could argue, looks a little bit like a pickle.
Oh yeah, well, because I know I think the pickle color came after the sport.
Even worse.
Yeah.
They just went into it.
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry on behalf of the people that named it that. Because it does deter, it makes it seem like weak and silly.
Yeah,
and then people are like, oh, dinking, and like, this isn't a real thing. And
yeah.
You know what I've taken to over the last 10 years is when I'm doing something, like say in a rock climbing gym, I'll see some like people in their 60s like climbing really, really well, and then
60s, sure,
and they don't do even 70s, like climbing incredibly well, and then but they don't do like bouldering, and I'm like, pay attention to what the old people do for exercise, because that's the stuff that's going to be good for your joints and everything else, you know. Yeah. And old people in pickleball is a thing. Younger people are getting into it, but I've asked some teenagers. Sometimes I'll see like young people playing, and I'm like, what's the vibe with pickleball with like are young people excited about it? They're like, no, we're weird. So it's still an old people thing, but it's now getting into like middle-aged people are playing it. So
yeah, it became a thing in the last few years, but I've been wanting to play it, and so we just got some rackets and we're fiddling around. But yeah, I mean, you're doing like spin and all sorts of technique, and you taught me so much just in our one session. I was like, okay, I realize there's some strategy. I'm starting to see what's going on here. 2-on-2
is a real like a lot more of a mind game and a lot more strategy.
Yeah,
you'll like it.
Yeah.
You'll like it. I'm excited, and it's also like the workouts like that, like the other, like especially stand-up paddleboarding. I'm not gonna push myself ever. Right. Like I'll get my heart rate up a little bit, but I'm not going to push. Like you'll never push yourself like when you're running after a ball, you know, when you're trying to get your paddle
it's
on
like 100%
that just out of reach
yeah.
thing, you know, and that's just so good for you.
Yeah. Well, you got to stretch. I've learned that.
Yeah.
Do you stretch? Do you do any stretching or yoga or anything? Or
I've gone in streaks. I mean, there was a period of time when I was doing yoga like twice a day for a while. So I've done a lot of yoga. I don't have a yoga practice right now. There's this aloe moves, like it's like one of those like beach body type, you know, P90X things, but for yoga.
When you put your hair up in the bun thing and the beard, you could just be a yogi.
Yeah.
And look the part.
Yeah.
Instantly.
You think so?
Well, you wouldn't have to just say less.
What do yogis make? Depends.
You got to be on Instagram for the high dollar yogi.
Yeah.
So you were saying that you don't, correct me, you're on Instagram, but you're not on it, or you don't like it, but you also don't post, but it sounds like you do?
So I don't like create content for Insta. What I mean by that is I'll be like, sometimes I'll be like, hey, I'm in Boise or whatever. And that's like 1 out of 5 shows or something like that I'll do that. I have these things coming up. I don't like, I have a bit that I'm going to try out on Instagram. There's been a few times where I've done that and stuff, and I tried a little bit during COVID, and I don't like, so right now, like I have like a Meta business suites and stuff like that that will alert me if there's something that I actually need to attend to. and then I need to install Instagram, go on my phone, attend to it, and then afterwards, sometimes I'll keep Instagram for like a day or two, but usually I just uninstall it after I'm done doing that. I used to think I had a positive relationship with Instagram alone, a very negative one with Twitter and X, just like yell at people and it's a dumpster fire. And yeah, I caught my breaks in 2007. And that's when I got like Hollywood agent and everything. And I got all this attention. And that was at the time, Dane Cook had blown up because of MySpace.
Okay.
So it was like, you got to get on MySpace. You got to have the page and do the thing
Friendster.
And post your videos and stuff. Yeah. Like your stand-up sets and stuff. And then Instagram came. And then they're like, my Hollywood, the like agents and managers, I was young. I didn't know any of this. I was thrown into it. I caught breaks like faster than any comic ever other than Bo Burnham. Like I skyrocketed.
Forgot about Bo. Yeah.
Oh, Bo Burnham's the only one that caught breaks faster than I've never seen anything like it. That shit was crazy. And Bo's awesome. He's incredibly talented. And started in Boston, same place as me, but he didn't. He started.
You started
with
in
web
Boston?
Stuff. Yeah.
Was Rogan around? Because he's Boston, right?
No, I started in 2004.
Oh, he's before that.
Yeah, he left.
Who else was in Boston? It was
Bill Burr had left. They had left a while before, and then who had just left was like Eugene Merman and Gary Gulman had just left, because I think Stanhope was from like Worcester, Worcester, Mass or something like that. So he was kind of around there a little bit, but then he moved to like San Francisco or something. And Stephen Wright was like in the 80s, like he was the one that like made the national big breakthrough and became super famous. And but yeah, there was no one. There was like an exodus of big people. And I arrived and made like a real splash in the scene. I didn't know until in hindsight, like the right timing that I had for the scene, as it was at the time and everything. So anyhow, I don't know what I'm doing business wise. I have no interest in being like an actor or anything like that. I just want to be like a road comic. I was like a real comedy purist. I watched stand up every day for like 15 years before I started comedy. I like really studied it. And I was like a very stand-up comedy purist kind of. And so I basically, just because my agent and manager and like, this is fancy. Everyone tells me that these are huge, opportunities, and, these are like powerful people and stuff. And so they were basically, they would constantly be on me to like write some jokes on Facebook and Twitter and stuff like that. And I just wanted them to keep booking gigs for me. And so I was like, all right, like I'll do that. And it really stunted my development, I feel like, because what ended up happening, one, I'm bad at proofreading and stuff. I'm a little impulsive. I went through a period of time that I was posting like 5 jokes a day. Like I had like a scheduler, and so I was posting 5 jokes a day. Like Twitter, on Facebook too, because Facebook wasn't as like image and video stuff back then,
right?
And so what I found was that it was I spend a lot of time thinking about speculating about the subconscious mind and how the mind works in ways that aren't that we aren't quite privy to or obvious necessarily. And what I kind of think happens is if you just put out your half-baked idea on the internet, there's something, at least in my brain, that goes, and done. That idea is done now. It's finished. Just like, if I make I have 2 psychedelic comedy specials coming out next year, and I've retired all the material that I did. Like, okay, I don't use those jokes anymore. That's what I felt like about my material. Whereas normally I would write down a half-baked idea. I'd maybe try it at an open mic or something, and then it wouldn't go well, and then I'd have a shower thought and I'd improve upon it, and then 6 months later I'd forgotten about the joke, and one day I'm in the driving, and it's eureka, I have just the right place for this. And I feel like it just interrupted that process and development some. And then especially once it got so political and just started getting me worked up and angry and everything. So yeah, I don't do social media very much. So I don't have a TikTok, and which is like, I guess, insane or something like that.
No.
I got rid of my X account this year on my 45th birthday. That was my gift to myself. Someone had started a TikTok for me and they posted like 3 videos for me or something like that, like some clips of me on like Theo Vaughn or something like that, and that was it. And then they stopped doing that, and then I never did anything. And then I was just like, I almost deleted all of my social media. And then I decided I better keep Instagram and Facebook. I still like Instagram enough, but I just don't like. I like performing. I get that you're supposed to get butts in a seat in a certain way, but I'm gonna see if there's other ways to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, there's certainly people that just big people like Donald Glover and Bo Burnham that just closed their social media accounts, and then it's like mysterious, But I'm not anywhere near their level. I still need people to find me and discover me. So it's a little tricky, but it's also, I'm happier. If I'm happier, I do better work. If I'm doing better work, hopefully that pays off.
Do you feel like that's still part of your ethos of like being a purist in stand-up? Do you still carry that with you?
No. I mean, I'm definitely an artist. Like I go out of my way to take big chances and to do things that are different than anyone else is doing, for sure. I no longer have the same reverence for stand-up comedy that I did when I was young.
Is that because of the brosphere?
Yeah, that is a non-trivial. That's a big part of it.
Do you feel like almost as like the innocence of stand-up in a sense became fractured?
I mean, there's always these trends, right? When I started, the unfortunate thing was that the blue collar comedy had exploded, which is fine, and everyone should be able to have their own different tastes and everything. But every comedian was having "get her done" yelled at them back then, and that's because that was like, people have such a limited idea of what, so few comedians make it into the public zeitgeist in any way, that even if they're not trying to be disruptive, they might be trying to relate to you. It's right. Like whoever, I remember when I started, people would be like, "Oh, you remind me of Jerry Seinfeld." Like, oh, that's just like the only comedian that. And then Jim Gaffigan got big, and they're like, "You remind me of Jim Gaffigan." And then Tosh.0 took off, and they're like, "You remind me of Daniel Tosh." People wanna.
Comedy was smaller in the aughts, right?
Yeah,
comparatively.
Yeah,
and in some ways, it's two things that make it really big right now. One is the short form content. It's a platform to share something that works in short form, which is jokes.
Yeah.
And on top of that, things are so absurd that I think it makes sense. There's a lot of material to make fun of it, and we're hungry for someone to sort of hold up the mirror.
Yeah,
It's like we need more court jesters in a sense.
Yeah. I definitely. I mean, I used to think that stand-up comedians, I thought of comedians like that, and standing up for something. And I don't think comedians have that much integrity.
They don't have to have integrity. It's the role
right.
that they're playing
right.
just by doing the thing.
Right.
I don't know.
I think that podcasting is so amazing, and it's really cool that suddenly, I mean, the world that I started in, I had to be a comedy purist, but then because of podcasting and things like it, suddenly I could be like, I'm very interested in science, a thing that I would have never, ever considered bringing on stage, or that's just like what I do for a hobby. And the world of podcasting opened up things to where I can have a special about psychedelics and do various themed shows and stuff. And that's incredible. And then, and a lot of people liked it. And then there was this like big market for people to hawk nonsense, and then it's just like, I think some of the like grifting and stuff happened. And then there's some audience capture type stuff and just like real clickbaity type things.
The audience capture feels like a symptom of the social media. Yeah. Because you have to have some kind of mechanism that can create that reality tunnel to go further and to get that sort of snake eating its own tail process.
Yeah.
And here we are. I don't know how long the experiment has gone on. I don't know, roughly 10 to 15 years. And look where we are.
And you can see, like, I sometimes watch these videos of, like, breaking down. I'm not trying to call anyone out, but, I mean, we'll just use Russell Brand as an example. Since I'm not terribly fond of the guy, and he might disappear from Russell Brand.
Oh, Russell Brand.
And,
yes.
But you can see, like, he had this show that he was doing, and then I saw this video just break it down perfectly. That was like, and then see this video where he like tried out, he dipped his toe in like this conspiracy stuff, and then it got 1,000 times the views that every other video of his got, and then you see afterwards he just copied that.
We also get more affirmation from the things, like let's say there's 100,000 more responses, in theory a lot of those are saying like more.
Yeah.
Where that's sort of the feedback loop.
Yeah. And so, I mean, I guess I've been a disagreeable, the way in which I am like edgy or bold on stage is different than some comics are like, hey, those people aren't here right now, so we can joke about them and like
punching down.
Call it punching down. And what I've always done, at least in comedy clubs, is I've sized up the audience and then figured out like what are their like buttons that are easy to push. And then I want to push their button, and not like this one guy's shirt is
not crowd
silly.
Work, but,
yeah. And like what is their belief system? Like, it's very easy. Just go into any like truck stop in the country and go, okay, here's this. Here's their sports team that they care a lot about. Here's their political orientation. Here's you can learn a lot just by looking through like the souvenir aisle, and you can learn a few things. So like comedy clubs will often have a list. So comedians, to pander to the audience, they'll have a list of like, here's the city nearby that's like the meth city or whatever that you can make fun of for that, because people love being referenced and they love.
Wait, they put this like on the wall backstage, just to give you like a cliff notes.
Yeah.
No way.
Like, here's these local references that you can use for. No, there should be.
There's no like industry name.
The
shit list.
Yeah, but it's just that. Like, here's this city's known for this, because everyone loves being like, yeah, that town next door, they are crazy over there, and so that's how you pander to an audience. I've always been like, no, but what what would push these and then seeing if I can like make it okay too. I'm still trying to give people a good show and I want them to enjoy themselves, but I'm gonna walk a few people. I always do. It's how I know I'm doing it right, you know.
So what are the buttons you might push in if you did a set, for instance, like at Psychedelic Science?
Oh, Psychedelic Science. I mean,
you remember?
Oh, did you see that show?
Well, I saw a screening of your special. I don't know if you call that was a show because you did some stand up before and after. It was in like remember it had like a
oh yeah, in Salt Lake City.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, not Psychedelic Science.
Yeah. So Psychedelic Science at Meow Wolf. I did push the buttons
not see
there.
that show.
I ripped apart like the Aubrey Marcus influencer type stuff. I had a bit that I really enjoyed that I may never use again about how Aubrey Marcus sold a $4,444 rebirthing ceremony.
Was it a joke or
no, that he really did that, and I know Aubrey as well. I know you do as well, but also
I enjoy hanging out with Aubrey.
Yeah, I've enjoyed hanging out with Aubrey as well. But also,
I was unaware of the birthing ceremony. Sold it where? What do you mean, like
you go and have a ceremony with Aubrey Marcus for like 4,000.
Oh, rebirthing like energetically.
Yeah.
I see.
And so
I thought I was thinking about.
I had a thing about how I mean he's likable. He would have been great in sales or whatever in a different life path.
Well, he wasn't he? I mean, he was very successful with On It, and
yeah.
Fleshlights,
it was Fleshlights first,
heritage.
And then the Rogan started selling Fleshlights, and those sold like crazy. And then he was like, what if we sell these guys like muscle powder or whatever? And then that's when the On It stuff took off. It's hilarious, but and also has damage to the world. But I had a thing about how like if after the rebirthing ceremony you're a different person than the type of person that will pay $4,444.
Why you better wait until like I don't want to pay for it?
Yeah. If you're a different person,
you
than
wake
that,
up
then
and you're like, wait a minute,
actually worth it. In fact, it might be worth $44,444. I like healing and angel numbers too. And so that's a nice easy one. You wanna like push some boundaries talking to a psychedelic audience, do something pro-vaccine. I like that's the edgiest thing you could possibly do. Honestly, edgy. Like if I teeter toward that, I have a thing about using ketamine needles in my act that's like a somewhat pro-vaccine message, and I'll see people that were enjoying themselves the whole show just get up and leave right then. It's amazing. I love it. And so that's like very edgy. I like, and then
what a strange world we've got into now.
It's a very, very strange world. And so that would be the thing. And then it's like, and then if I'm working in a comedy club in Dallas, Texas, I do Jesus jokes. It's just like. And like laugh, maybe I can get away with it, but also a couple people are going to be like, "Oh, I can't hear blasphemy," and then someone might come up after me. This happened in Des Moines once. A guy came up after me. He's like, "Where are the Muslim jokes?" And I was like, "What?
Like balance the scales kind of thing."
Yeah. I was like, "What do you mean?" And he's like, "Well, if you're gonna make fun of our guy, you gotta make fun of their guy."
Like it's fucking the Saints versus the Jets or something.
I mean, it is crazy. Like everywhere you go, everywhere you travel, like first off, when people ask me like what are shitty places or whatever, or what's my favorite, I'm like, I like everywhere. It's why van life really takes me, and I like being in places where I'm around people that are definitely not my vibe. Like I'm a people watcher more than anything.
It's good to shake up your environments for sure, especially when you're not the same as you. You're the minority in some way is important.
I absolutely agree, and so I have like since since finding like Bureau of Land Management land and all these different state parks and different.
Yeah, welcome to the West Coast, or the mountains in the West.
Oh
So many.
my God, the
I think,
mountain time zone is insane.
Most of the land in the states around here is federal land.
It's
Isn't that
insane.
Wild? Like most.
Do you
of
know
it.
how many just like I just live on a mountain by myself for like as long as I want to.
You're preaching to the choir.
It's incredible. It's incredible. And so yeah, and then everywhere I go to, it's like I even like the people everywhere too, but there's this funny thing where everywhere you go, the people, they're like, oh, the world's crazy or whatever. It's like, no, like the problem is that you think your neighbors are terrible. Like that's everywhere you go. It's the same thing. It's like I'm from Wisconsin.
The town next door.
Yeah, the fucking town next door. Oh, those fucking people. You know, the out group that's closest to you and in your face. And then with the news and I mean, it is such a tricky modern world that we live in. 200,000 years of human evolution. You would have basically, most people would have lived an entire lifetime without ever seeing someone with a different skin color.
Let alone the amount of information that's consumed is, I mean, I've read the stats about, I don't know, it's like in one day you're consuming more than a person consumed in a year at X time. And
I mean, you would have, in terms of like technological advances, it would have been like a knife gets a little sharper after a few generations. You know, maybe bowl making is a little more symmetrical than it was like when your grandpa was.
Well, it's like now it's like we have these trends where like in 3 seconds of a video has to have the hook. So what's the equivalent of that? It's like over 100 years they learned that when you tell the story at the fire, it's like, oh, there's this new technique. You put a bit of the end at the beginning.
Yeah.
And then you go from there. It's like, oh, radical. Innovative storytelling idea.
And there was the I don't think it's a coincidence that the kind of mass printing about 500 years ago, the printing press, somewhat ish of a printing press, coincided with the scientific revolution, which was when kind of how information was thought about was based on evidence, not perfectly, but philosophically. I mean, it was like they started having that was like when telescopes started popping off in a big way around that time. Yeah, and like Galileo and stuff. How far Newton was like 400 years ago or so. I don't know.
Yeah, because I feel like Newton is when we sort of really took off scientifically.
I feel like Newton was like 400 years ago, but the scientific revolution was more like the 1500s.
Newton was 1643 to 1727.
Yeah. So it was already popping off. So there was already some science books, and it was this idea of instead of beliefs based on what was handed down by authority, we also looked to evidence to determine beliefs. So that was like something no one had ever thought of, really, or at least not in a big way. And part of it was because they were able to disseminate information through books. And then in the 1800s was the Enlightenment, and that was when some of that evidence based information started being disseminated started being used in public policy and the Organization of Civilizations and stuff, and then that was another kind of large boost for things. But that also coincided with a big advancement in printing press and stuff. So people like early universities were like, well, we can only afford one book on this in the city, so we'll gather together and have a guy read this book. That is this is all to say that like information was so scarce that you would go near and far to like hear someone read out of the book that had some of Newton's ideas in it. And now it's like,
right. So information age.
Choose your own adventure.
So what do you think it's accelerating towards? Because we objectively could see it as an exponential acceleration, right? Just on the level of information.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's got a mathematical
I would speculate that
momentum.
AI could potentially get dumber. Because if AI is using evolutionary properties, so people think about evolution as like evolution is morphing toward perfection and perfectness. That's not at all what.
It's still sort of, there's some sort of concrescence that we're head. What is it?
Well, I mean, I think like, first off, where are we going? That is like not a way that my mind works very well, I would say. But I was kind of into futurist stuff like 20 years ago, and now I'm like, I don't feel very confident in my ability to make grand predictions about the future.
Well, what about has it happened before?
I think that has something like this happened before? I mean, I think that the scientific revolution, the Age of Enlightenment, Darwinian thinking upended things in major ways. I was just kind of revisiting some of the. I'm reading this book, The Evolution of Beauty, or something like that. That's talking a lot about how disruptive Darwin's ideas were, and it's. I mean, so that like upended things in a big way. I mean, I think that, I don't know. It's hard to tell. I think people acclimate to experiences pretty quickly, but in terms of, so there's two things: the ratcheting up. So like iPhone updates, you kind of get excited for a month and then it goes away, and this is like this hedonic treadmill that matches how things acclimate to just an increase in things, or if something bad happens, a decrease in things. And generally with increasing things, you want small incremental gains. So you're getting like little raises at a time. Everyone wants to hit the lottery, but then if you hit, you'll just acclimate to that. And then if you like spend all that money, you're going to be miserable. Whereas the opposite is true with things that are negative, where you want to like, you would rather like, say, break your feet like I did and then like recover from it fully than to have your feet like slowly get worse and worse each day.
They both sound pretty bad.
So, they both are bad, but people can acclimate to like, people have these horrific things happen where they're like in some horrible fire and just like unimaginable hellish thing happens to them, and sure as shit they're able to like acclimate and find a new appreciation for life, and I think that's pretty incredible. But it also checks out with just some very basic stuff of how neuroscience works. So we are adaptive, but then it depends on how addictive things are. So there's two different mechanisms going on there. So adaptiveness is like these small incremental gains. You're getting like a little bit higher and higher reward each time, and then you acclimate to like what the first time you got the reward, it was amazing, but then you eventually get bored with it, and then you get 2 rewards and you're excited again because you got a raise, and then you acclimate, and then you get 3 rewards. That's the hedonic treadmill, and then it kind of goes the opposite way when things go down. But then if there's like intermittent rewards, if there's like a 50% chance of the reward happening, you generally have like double the dopamine, which is involved in motivation. It's like the acknowledgement of, this is what I need to do to get ahead and get the reward. If there's half the chance of getting the reward, there's twice the motivation to seek it. And so this is, I think, what explains a lot of the like social media you post and sometimes you hit the lottery. It's like gambling. It's just like pulling the slot machine. And so there are ways in which AI is like that in, say, like generating a picture or a song or something
after
like that.
Basically right now, yes. that's the business model. It's still like platform attention.
Well, really? You think
Yeah.
it's... Well, I mean, hold our attention. But I think that it's more like, for asking it things, it's more like it just kind of delivers to the extent
but
that
it wants
can,
to please
and then
you.
It improves.
It always wants. They've programmed it in to try and make you happy.
Yeah, but it's not like it's not exactly. So it's not making you. It's not like, for it to be addictive, you would need to lose half of the time.
Well, it hallucinates.
You ask, if you catch that was wrong and then you fell for it or whatever.
Yeah, so that kind of keeps you on your toes, where it's like, well, wait a minute.
That's a slightly different
you
thing,
lying
though,
to me?
too, because that's already been happening with the internet and confirmation bias, and you can. No, it doesn't matter how crazy your belief is. You can confirm those ideas in a very quick Google search. That's been the case
back
for
of
a
knees.
while.
Yeah,
The back of knees.
You Google some dirty knee, back of the knees.
Knees, dirtiest part of the human body, back of the knees.
Wash them up, folks.
I still don't get it.
I don't know.
Why the back of the knees?
I love Iceland, but I'll be honest with you. I wasn't a giant back of the knee washer until then. And now I can't get it out of my head. I'm in the shower and I think, I probably should wash the back of my knees.
Really?
Yeah, and I didn't know it was a real thing.
This is contagious. You're in my head now, because
I might have changed your life.
I'm actually not sure I've ever washed.
Oh,
the
those
back.
filthy. Well, take a picture and put that up as a sample into the internet database, because that will now hold true.
I'm gonna see. Maybe I'm gonna see.
Well, it must be filthy
well,
pants.
I showered earlier. I'm going to, next time after pickleball, I'm going to I'm gonna take a whiff of the back of my knees.
The finger
and
test.
Just see the finger test and see how bad the back of the knees
This is
are.
how we're gonna leave people. Is us thinking about the smell of Shane's.
Well, you got feet, you got pits, you got crack.
Well,
in the mid.
it's similar, is it not?
the
As an armpit.
undercarriage.
It's an armpit that's open all the time. It's like the opposite, but
It's open all
sweats.
the time. It sweats.
I don't know. But maybe the Viking people knew something about this.
No, I think it's I think that there's like these odd nonsensical OCD-ish behaviors that just kind of like make you feel like everything's going to be okay. Like if you wash the back of your knees, you're not going to get sick in the sauna. And then if you get sick in the sauna, they go, you must not have scrubbed the back of your knees very well. That's the wonderful thing about those kind of devices.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's getting late. I mean, this has been fun. We went a little longer than we thought, but this is good. I just wanted to touch base with you, man. It's been a minute.
Yeah,
and
thanks for having
people can
me.
come see your show. It sounds like you're going to be all over the place, so they can come find a show. And
yeah, I set my phone to vibrate, I guess, and then it just went off, and then distracted.
Some people will call that an alarm. This is a perfect example of our responses where something vibrates and it's just like the brain shuts down.
Yeah.
It's like, what? I think I was saying something. And
yeah. We were dirty knees. No, please. No.
All right. ShaneMauss.com.
Shane Mauss, MAUSS.com. I have, if you join my email list, you will get early access to my 2-part special trips,
Which is very funny.
and it's great. There's never been anything quite like it in comedy. That's what motivates me. Not like, it used to be like, oh, can I have a slightly better setup punch than other people? And I was pretty good at that. And then like it kind of felt like, is this it? Like it seems so limiting. And now I'm exploring all these different spaces and meeting wonderful friends like you, and so it's great. It's great to continue being expanding as an artist. It feels great.
I'm glad you're out there.
I don't know that I may be dead by this time next year. I don't know that I'll survive as an artist, but I like living that way.
I hope you're not dead, But you're right. You might be dead.
Yeah, could be.
Yeah, we might
Could
be
happen
dead.
to anyone
We might
else.
be dead.
Might be dead. I just wanted to put that in there so that you can benefit from my death by getting a lot of
Okay, cool. I'll
views
make
and
a
listens.
90-second reel about it.
Yeah, yeah,
People will
yeah.
dig it for about 4 seconds. They're like, oh, Seamus is great.
Wow, I got
Flip.
I got 4,000 likes. That was my top performing reel of the week.
You're getting close to immortality. Immortality's up there, and when you get enough likes.
And then like you go on your business page and Meta's like, hey, whatever you did here, can you do more? Can you do more stuff like this? Can you record more of your friends and have them die? And then post little reels of what they said about them.
This is a dark mirror
potentially dark.
situation. Yeah, or
It
Black
really
Mirror,
is.
Dark Mirror, Black Mirror.
Black Mirror.
Yeah.
It's a good show.
Yeah, someone said the Black Mirror was a Nostradamus. Rada said this was a Nostradamus prophecy, and then the phone obviously is a black mirror. You see when it's off.
Yeah.
And I was like, I couldn't find that to be verified online, but I thought that would be pretty amazing if that's true.
Yeah, I think
This goes in the category of internet. I don't know if it's true, but.
this goes in the category of stuff I would bet against actively. But it's a fun story. Maybe it's true.
Maybe it's true. All right. Thanks, Shane. Good to chat.
Thank you, buddy.